A peaceful city. What if the Earth suddenly stopped spinning right now? We don't feel it, but the Earth is rotating at 1,600 kilometers per hour. That's faster than the speed of sound. But what if it stops in just 1 second? The law of inertia would turn everything in the world into a terrifying weapon. Just like being thrown forward when a speeding car slams on the brakes. Everything attached to the surface would violently fly off to the east. People and cars not anchored to the ground would shoot out like bullets. At 1,600 kilometers per hour, that's twice as fast as a massive passenger jet. Even sturdy concrete buildings couldn't withstand this terrifying force. Their foundations would be ripped out entirely, causing entire massive cities to collapse. It would be as if an invisible giant bulldozer had flattened the world. But what's more terrifying is that the real hell is just beginning. The ground has stopped, but the massive oceans are still fiercely rotating. The ocean waters, unable to overcome inertia, would rush towards the continents. A mega tsunami larger than Mount Everest would engulf the coastlines. Coastal cities like New York and Tokyo would be submerged deep underwater. A 10 kilometers high wall of water would sweep deep into the continents. Would inland areas not submerged in water be safe? Absolutely not. Because the massive atmosphere surrounding the Earth would also keep spinning. A supersonic storm at 1,600 kilometers per hour would ruthlessly rage across the entire globe. This wind would have a terrifying power equivalent to thousands of atomic bombs. It would grind everything away, scraping off even the soil and rocks on the surface. A few hours later, when the storms subside, the world will have completely changed. Because the centrifugal force created by the Earth's rotation would have completely vanished. The ocean water gathered at the equator would terrifyingly drain toward the polar regions. As the water level drops, a massive new continent would emerge near the equator. Conversely, cities in the northern and southern hemispheres would be permanently submerged underwater. Now the Earth is divided into one giant continent and 2 oceans. However, surviving on the new continent would be practically impossible. Because a day would have stretched from 24 hours to a whopping 1 year. The half facing the sun would endure a horrific, continuous daytime for 6 months. The oceans would boil and temperatures would terrifyingly soar to over 100 degrees Celsius. What about the other side? It would be an eternal icy hell, untouched by light. Temperatures would drop below -100 degrees Celsius, freezing everything solid. Twilight would exist only on the narrow border between these 2 extreme worlds. A narrow, dark band of land where life could barely breathe. But even this would not serve as a safe refuge for humanity. Because the rotation speed of the Earth's inner liquid metal core would also start to slow down. The magnetic field shield that faithfully protected the Earth would gradually weaken and collapse. Deadly radiation from space would pour down directly onto the ground. Even the remaining atmosphere would be stripped away by powerful solar winds and blown into space. Ultimately, the Earth would turn into a red, lifeless desert like Mars. The butterfly effect caused by a mere 1-second stop is the planet's complete annihilation. The fact that the Earth spins through the vast universe at 1,600 kilometers per hour every single day. This ordinary rotation was actually the miraculous, absolute shield keeping us alive. Doesn't the peaceful scenery outside your window look a little different today? The universe is far more intricate and far more perilous than we imagine. Disaster strikes when even a single invisible law of nature goes awry. But wait, did you think the story ends here? The truly terrifying prank the universe has in store for us is yet to come. What if the stopped Earth suddenly started spinning again at its original speed of 1,600 kilometers per hour? Accelerating to supersonic speed from a standstill triggers a hellish reverse inertia. This time it's the opposite. Everything left on the surface is violently thrown towards the west. The massive rocks of the newly formed continent, barely holding on, would shatter and shoot into the air. Even more terrifying is that the Earth's crust, the tectonic plates, wouldn't withstand the acceleration and would tear apart. The North American and Eurasian continents would split in half like sheets of paper. Massive chasms, hundreds of kilometers deep, would ruthlessly tear through the global surface. Through those cracks, magma at thousands of degrees, trapped deep underground, would violently erupt. It's an unimaginable geological disaster, with tens of thousands of supervolcanoes erupting simultaneously worldwide. Burning walls of lava would surge tens of kilometers high, dyeing the sky blood red. Then, what about the people who evacuated to high-tech underground bunkers amidst this chaos? As tectonic plates shift, they would literally slice right through the steel bunkers they were hiding in. The fortress they believed to be the safest instantly becomes the deepest and most terrifying crusher. This time, let's look out into space, to the astronauts on the International Space Station, ISS. They would witness in real time the horrific sight of their home planet shattering to pieces outside their window. But space isn't safe either. The Earth's irregular rotation would cause anomalies in its gravitational field. The space station, losing its orbit, would spin out of control and plummet into the atmosphere. Massive rock fragments launched from Earth would strike the space station like missiles. Back on the ground, the stationary ocean water would lag behind, unable to keep up with the Earth's spinning speed. This would create another mega tsunami heading west, the opposite direction of the previous one. Tens of millions of tons of seawater would collide head-on with boiling magma erupting from the cracked Earth. As water meets magma, colossal global steam explosions would detonate continuously. The Earth's atmosphere would become choked with impenetrable, thick, acidic steam and volcanic ash. Now, not a single trace of the topography we once knew would remain on the Earth's surface. In just one day, the beautiful blue planet would revert to a primordial fireball of boiling red lava. Even this solid ground we firmly believe in and stand upon is merely scattered as lightly as a handful of dust before the immense physical laws of the universe. The Earth's rotation stopping is by no means just a simple break. It's a fatal self-destruct button that collapses the most perfect system protecting us. Tonight, aren't you deeply grateful for the fact that the ground beneath your feet is quietly spinning? This miraculous tranquility that the universe grants us every single day. But the threats of the universe aren't just about rotation. Deadly threats flying from deep space. What if one day the sun suddenly became 10 times brighter than it is now? What would happen to our Earth? If you're curious about another unimaginable Earth signal, hit that subscribe button right now. We will constantly decode the warnings of the universe and deliver the clues for survival to you.